Tina contacting him meant that he was in charge of the excursion. But no one went outside alone. Too many things could go wrong. Gabe asked, "Who else is on call tonight?" "Thaddeus and Bryce. Shall I give one of them a holler for you?" "I'll take Thad. Newbie could use the practice." Gabe eased off his pedaling. "And no, don't call. I'm in the gym. I need to cool off first." Outside was not the place to get stiff and inflexible. After winding down for a few minutes, Gabe unstrapped his slippers from the pedals, unbelted, and, carefully dismounting, firmly planted a slipper on one of the deck's Velcro strips. Trailing damp footprints, he crossed the exercise room, the Velcro pads on the soles of his slippers zip-zipping with each step. At the hatchway, he took hold of the handrail that ran along the corridor ceiling. The Tarzan swing was the quickest way through the station. Many of his crewmates would be asleep, and he kept a Tarzan yell to himself. Thaddeus Stankiewicz was not in his quarters, the tiny common room, or even the tinier sanitary facilities. When Gabe tried the machine shop, the hatch squeaked on its hinges. Thad was new to Phoebe and Micro G. His surprised twitch launched him from his stool and scattered whatever he was working on. Gabe saw cordless soldering pistols, metal tubes, metal rods, wire coils, and, writhing free at the end of its oxygen and acetylene hoses, a cutting torch tipped with blue flame. Gabe leapt, catching the torch by a hose and with his other hand giving Thad a firm shove clear. The push, equal and opposite reactions, brought Gabe to a near halt at mid-room, above the deck. About a foot, call it 30 seconds hang time. That was plenty long to give Thad a tongue-lashing for his carelessness. Newbie looked so flustered that Gabe relented. He killed the torch and merely glared as Thad, who by then had grabbed a bench edge, began gathering parts of what and cramming them into his pockets. Stankiewicz was short, broad-shouldered, and intense. His thick black eyebrows and deep-set eyes made him seem perpetually brooding. He wore a standard station jumpsuit, the royal blue version, with its integral Velcro slippers. Finally touching down, Gabe slid his foot until it engaged a Velcro strip. "What are you working on?" Thad shrugged, looking uneasy. "Embarrassed?" "Personal project." The station offered precious little privacy, so Gabe let it go. "A surface rover got stuck. You and I are up to extract it." "Okay." Thad kept grabbing and stowing the scattered pieces of his project. "Almost done. Leave that, newbie. We have a job to do." They made their way to the main airlock. The closer they got, the more dark streaks and splotches marked the gray metal panels that lined the corridor. You couldn't help but track Phoebe's dust and grime into the station, and once inside, the stuff found its way everywhere. The crew vacuumed endlessly, but it was a losing battle. Their spacesuits were filthier than the interior halls and no longer permitted in most of the station. Once you couldn't change in a closet-sized cabin, bracing yourself between opposing walls, the best place to suit up was inside the airlock. In the airlock, back-to-back, studiously ignoring each other, the two men stripped. Even more studiously, they ignored jostling and brushing into each other. The bodysuits fit snugly against bare skin. Donning a very elastic bodysuit in the all but non-existent gravity was like squirming into a sausage casing, underwater. Every nudge and bump sent them careening off bulkheads and decks and each other. Still, these mechanical counter-pressure suits beat the hell out of the bulky, pressurized spacesuits. Gabe had tried an old-style suit once in training. It was easier to get into, but way more massive. Inertia varied with mass, not weight, and fighting that much inertia was exhausting. Gabe finally wriggled into his suit and helped Thad finish getting into his own. "Check me out," Gabe said. He launched himself, with a bit of practiced footwork, into a slow mid-air pirouette. "You look fine," Thad said. The answer had come too quickly. Anywhere that the suit failed to settle securely into place, fluid would pool beneath. Gaping was the major issue with the skin suits, with the crotch area especially problematical. It wasn't as if Gabe wanted another guy checking out his crotch, but he wanted even less to have blisters down there from an ill-fitting suit. "Check it again," he snapped. Done properly, spacesuit checkout.